Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2020 general readings. We're looking at the first half of July from the 1st to the 15th. And this reading is for the fire sign of Aries, or Rams. Welcome everyone. I hope that you are, as always, staying safe and well and as balanced as possible in a year that's turned out quite a bit different than we thought it would be. Thanks for all that you have done and continue to do in support of this channel, liking, sharing, subscribing, watching, donating, or even just taking the time to watch these videos. Always welcome and appreciated. So, Aries, this reading is for you for the first half of July from the 1st to the 15th. So Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising, if your Venus is in Aries, if you're cross-watching for Aries, watch all of your sign videos if you know them. Each one can bring in, something a little bit extra in helping you kind of navigate through this short period of time. And if any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading or get information on that, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow, and you'll see some more info, contact details, my email address. You can email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond with more information the first day or, within the first 24 hours. And I do readings full time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule and mine to get readings set up in as timely a fashion as possible. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Aries, let's get right into this. Let's see what the first half of July has in store for you. For those of you who need to know, want to know, I am using Legacy of the Divine Tarot. And if we need to clarify, I will be clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. I'm feeling almost a sense of breathlessness for you, Aries. It'll be interesting to see what comes out. Our lovely fire sign, Aries. Okay, Aries. We begin with the Seven of Swords, followed by the Magician, the Queen of Coins, followed by the Four of Cups. From the bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess, representing kind of your overall general energy and focus, your umbrella energy. I have blue fingernails today. My daughter thought it would be kind of cool, but I'm not so sure. It's so radically different from the colors I normally wear on my fingernails that every time I see it, I'm a little distracted. Okay. It looks like you are, Aries, kind of secretly working to manifest something. Or there's something you're trying to manifest or in the process of manifest that you're not talking about. You're, keeping your own counsel, holding your cards very close to your chest, which is basically what your overall energy is as well. I mean, your overall energy, you could say overall or underlying, kind of the thread of energy that flows through this 2-week period of time. We have the High Priestess, which is a card about somebody who, it's very intuitive. It's about trusting your intuition, your gut instinct, your higher self. The High Priestess pays very close attention. She spends more time watching and listening, not talking too much, definitely keeping your own counsel here. The High Priestess, watching, paying attention, making your decisions based on how you feel, that intuitive guidance, and not talking too much about it, kind of keeping your own counsel, which can be, what the Seven of Swords is too. I often refer to it as my sneaky thief card, and it can represent deceit, lying, On a simplistic level, it represents concealing or doing something undercover. It can, and not necessarily a bad card either, because it can represent that you have a goal, you have something that you want to achieve or attain, and all of your decisions and actions, you know, or as much as possible that you're doing to try to achieve this goal or attain this thing, you're keeping to yourself. Now, what's accompanying it or clarifying it is the magician, who's the manifester. He's kind of the entrepreneur of the tarot, the magician. And it's also a pretty independent energy too. The magician kind of walks his own road, and it's the best way to do things because that's his way. It's what works, you know. And if the magician has a challenge, sometimes it's working and playing well with others because he has his own way of doing things because that's how he's always done it. Therefore, it's the best way. He's worked long and hard to get to the place where he's able to physically manifest his ideas and his dreams into being because he knows fundamentally the nature of the magician is success that comes through a combination of talent and hard work. So he knows how to take his ideas and his dreams, what he wants, and pair that with his natural skills and abilities and a lot of external hard work to physically manifest something into being. So you're definitely trying to manifest something into being. You're working on something, but you're not really talking about it. You're kind of keeping it to yourself. Now, we have next the Queen of Coins, followed by the Four of Cups, which is interesting energy. The Queen of Coins, coins is also known as pentacles in other suits, or in other decks. This is earth energy. So the suit of coins or pentacles often points to things in our physical life, our physical selves, our physical environment, money, finance, property, resource, assets, etc. Or, you know, emotional things that give us stability and security, you know, like long-term relationships, or the efforts we put into acquiring that which brings us a sense of stability in our physical day-to-day life. So the Queen of Coins is really good at doing this. She's matured and evolved beyond the page energy, the knight energy, and she is now the Queen of Coins. She's worked very hard to get to where she's at. Very stable, grounded, secure. This is probably somebody who's financially comfortable, if not well off. She's able to, she has an inherent talent and ability to navigate things in the day-to-day physical world and do it very well, almost effortlessly, you know, run a home, run a business, run a job. You know, she's very capable, resourceful. She often shows her love and caring for other people through, you know, acts of service or physical, you know, she's very capable and resourceful. And so this might be somebody who is significant to you during this period of time. It might be what you're trying to manifest has something to do with this Queen of Coins. I mean, and she's sitting right next to, I mean, it's showing up as a queen, but it could be a male as well in a general reading. She's sitting right next to the Seven of Swords, so I don't know, some of you, there might be some, you know, I suppose in a relationship, I mean, it could represent some kind of third party thing or cheating. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm really getting that or not. I'm not really feeling too much of that. We'll clarify though. So what accompanies and clarifies her is the Four of Cups, which is usually a card of indifference or a lack of, you know, enthusiasm. It can represent that there's something being offered to this person. They're looking at it, maybe considering it, but not really going for it. They already have these three goblets upright and full, so they're doing pretty well for themselves. So whatever this offer or opportunity is being offered, you know, they're not excited or enthusiastic enough about it to actually reach out and take it or take action on it. So it's a card that can represent indifference or a lack of enthusiasm or excitement about some kind of offer. It might be someone you're trying to manifest something with, maybe if it's a romantic or a business thing, and you're trying and trying to manifest this maybe behind the scenes, but they might not be all that interested. Interesting. Let's clarify. Let's clarify the Magician. What is the Magician trying to manifest? What is the Magician about? Because I definitely feel like this is your energy. The Ten of Cups, the happy home card, marriage, weddings, childbirth. Do you want to propose this person, marry this person, have some kind of happy home with this person? But then behind it we have the Devil, which represents some pretty significant instability, and then the Eight of Cups, which is a card of walking away or leaving. Perhaps for some of you, this Queen of Coins is another person who has made the offer to you. Maybe it's an offer of love and stability and happy home and marriage and all of that stuff, but maybe you're not all that interested in it because you're already working on something else. You're trying to manifest something else. Maybe you're trying to manifest, maybe you have plans of leaving or going on a trip or leaving or just kind of doing your own thing, going off and doing your own thing. And the reason you're being secretive about it is because you don't want to cause conflict or chaos with this other person until like the last minute maybe, because maybe they would be upset that, one, you're not wanting the same kind of happy home picture that they have, or two, you're making plans to leave or to go away or just to go off and do your own thing, and you don't want to talk about it because it would cause conflict. Interesting. Which may be the underlying reason why the Seven of Swords, why you're keeping it secret. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords. I think that's what it is. I'm kind of feeling that's what it is. You're secretly trying to manifest something that you're trying to do. I mean, for some of you, it could be the opposite. You're trying to manifest something with this person, but they're just not all that interested. But I think for a lot of you, this person perhaps has made an offer to you, but you're like, no, I'm kind of already on this course and I've got this thing I want to do. I'm kind of keeping it undercover because, I'm keeping my own counsel because I don't want to rock the boat until I absolutely have to. What is the Seven of Swords about? Kind of interesting, huh? That's the fascinating, enjoyable part of general readings for me. It's like reading aloud to somebody from a book that they haven't read before and you haven't read before, and each page is something new, right? Four of Swords. So we're trying to clarify the Seven of Swords. What is this, why the secrecy or why the concealment? The Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of withdrawal from conflict. Because swords is air energy, it's mental energy, it's thoughts, ideas, all of that stuff. This person is a soldier who's withdrawn temporarily, so you'll probably have to, this isn't done, it'll have to be dealt with at some point. But taking a temporary, withdrawal from conflict for recovery and recuperation may be a different aspect. So that's why, yeah, I was right. So that's why you don't want to talk about your plans because there's been conflict about it in the past. Maybe you have a habit of coming and going or just kind of going off and doing your own thing, and your partner or this other person, there's just been too much conflict about it. Because of that, you don't want to reveal anything until you absolutely have to because you just don't want to deal with conflict anymore. The Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, the Six of Wands, and the Lovers. Are you planning on making a Knight of Pentacles? It's like you're planning on leaving or going away or going on a trip or something. It might be leaving the relationship, period, I suppose that, but I'm not really getting too much of a breakup. It's like you're planning on leaving or going on a trip or something. Maybe you're not going with them and that would cause problems. That's kind of sort of what it feels like in Interesting. Okay. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands. I mean, it could be, the opposite side of these tracks, the railroad tracks as well. It could be this person who's doing that, the other person who's, holding the Seven of Swords and Magician energy. And they're not telling you because they don't want to rock the boat. But I think for most of the Aries that I'm reading for, it's the opposite. Let's clarify the Queen of Coins. The Lovers was in there too, so perhaps this is a romantic relationship. The Four of Wands, the happy home card, stable home. Yeah, it looks like this is somebody. The Fool, the Three of Pentacles, and the Magician again. This is somebody that you already have. I mean, for the Aries that I'm reading for, this looks like somebody that you already have an established relationship with of some kind. Probably some kind of, a love romance relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, something like that. For others of you, it might be some different kind of relationship, but there's some kind of already established relationship link there. We have the Fool. I mean, the Fool is about going on a brand new journey, and the Three of Pentacles is a card about collaboration. So maybe this is about, I keep getting trip and journey. And, that's the tricky part of general readings, is that, you're all different lives. So it's going to be, the details and specifics are going to vary, while the energy fundamentally remains the same. But I'm getting like this strong trip or journey energy. Are you planning on taking a trip or going back somewhere or something, and you're not planning on taking this person with you, at least initially, or something, maybe joining up again later, and you don't want to talk about it too much now, if at all, because you're afraid of the conflict it's going to cause, because it's caused conflict in the past? For some of you, it might be that you want to plan a trip with this person, but you might be afraid that they won't want to go, or they won't be interested in it, and that's why you're just kind of keeping it to yourself for the time being. But definitely this Queen of Coins is somebody that you have already some kind of relationship connection with. Interesting. Let's clarify one more thing. Let's clarify the Four of Cups. Looks like indifference or a lack of big interest. Yeah, maybe you're trying to manifest or plan something, and this Queen of Coins, you're just worried that maybe they won't want to, or there's a lack of interest. Four of Cups. What's this Four of Cups about? The Devil, instability. The Six of Cups, a card of the past, childhood, nostalgia. Ten of Wands, the World. I swear some of you guys are getting ready to go on travel, or move, or go somewhere or something. Maybe back home, maybe back to your moon. Hidden fears, maybe a lack of clarity. I feel like some of you are planning to go on a trip or return home, or maybe because of the quarantine and the pandemic and everything, you got stuck in one particular place, or stuck there too long, and you're wanting to go back to your home base or your homeland, and you haven't been able to because of the quarantine and restrictions on travel, and you're starting to make plans now to do that. And maybe your partner, maybe you spend time going back and forth, which has caused some conflict with your partner in the past, because maybe you or them hasn't, the relationship hasn't progressed to a point where that might be easier, like say getting married, so that it's easier for both of you to stay in one place or to travel back and forth together. I mean, it looks like whatever this issue, there's something about this issue, there's an issue between you and this person in this relationship. It's an ongoing issue because I feel like this has been like a back and forth, up and down. And I feel like it has to do with going back and forth or traveling back and forth. You know, maybe you live in two different places and you guys aren't married or something, and maybe they want to be, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that, but yet it would be easier, you know, if you were, and you're just like, yeah, I don't want to do that. It feels like this is an issue that you guys have gone around and around and around on before. And you're making plans to yet again go do your thing or whatever. Maybe they'll join you later, maybe they won't. But again, it's a source of conflict, a lot of conflict in the past. And it's unclear. With the Ten of Wands and the Moon, you know, the Ten of Wands usually represents somebody being at the very end of carrying a heavy burden. So it may be that part of the reason also that you're keeping it kind of to yourself is that you're afraid that, you know, the same old conflict's going to come up again, and this time, you know, it might be the end of it. Or the other person might say, you know what, I can't keep doing this thing. Either, you know, we move to the next level and progress into something so that this doesn't feel so unstable and up and down and back and forth and hello, goodbye again, or we're done. And maybe that's what you're afraid of, and you know, that argument again, and it actually being really finished this time. And so for the time being, you're just kind of keeping it to yourself. This feels very kind of complicated and old, like this has been going on for some time, round and around, back and forth. So let's end with pulling some advice and guidance cards for you, Aries, on what is the best way for Aries to navigate through the first half of July, through this situation. What's the best thing for them to do or to focus on or to think about in regards to this situation? The Sun, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom, which is independent self-sufficiency, but this Five of Cups right behind that, and then the Hanging Man. It might be, Aries, and again, this feels like an old kind of complicated issue. It might be that you, in this relation, because this feels like a relationship, an established relationship, you have a lot of this independent self energy, you know, kind of going back and forth, maybe doing your own thing, going back and forth. You're in a relationship with someone, but they've had perhaps over time an increasingly difficult time with this pattern, and maybe you're looking back on it with some kind of regret, you know, over what this level of independence that you have fought to maintain is actually costing in this relationship. The Hanging Man can represent maybe taking some time during this time period to kind of reflect on that and maybe ask yourself if you want to make some changes. You know, in the meantime, on top of that, your primary advice is the Sun and the Six of Pentacles. So the Sun is a card about having fun, relaxing, letting go of some of the heavy restrictive energies, being out in the sun, you know, trying to have a good time and let go of some of it. And the Six of Pentacles is a card of gift giving, gift receiving, you know. So I think in regards to this relationship, Aries, regardless of the nature of the relationship, you're being advised to, at least during the first half of July, to try and keep it as light and positive as possible. Maybe focus on having the two of you having fun together, you know, gift giving, gift receiving, you know, reaching out a little bit more, you know, doing some nicer things for each other, that sort of thing. It doesn't look like you're being called to actually do anything more specific than that, other than, you know, maybe putting some energy into getting out and enjoying things and lifting the energy up a bit, and receiving the gifts that you give and being grateful for them and giving that as well, gifts or service, you know, that sort of thing that people do in their own individual relationships. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, Aries, that is your reading for the first half of July. I hope that you found it helpful and useful. Again, if any of the videos resonate with you, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading or get information on that, you can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. You can also get that information by clicking on that little arrow below the description link. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the July mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.